Friends Season 2 Review Part 2. The truth finally comes out. Transition. Just when Rachel thinks things couldn't get any worse, July begins spending more and more time with the group. Instead of being a temporary visitor, she slowly becomes part of everyone's daily lives. And for Rachel, that's almost impossible to deal with. The biggest challenge comes from someone she never expected: Monica. As Ross's sister, Monica wants to be welcoming to July. At first, it's nothing more than simple kindness. She invites July out, chats with her, and tries to make her feel comfortable around the group. But before long, the two genuinely become friends. For Monica, it's harmless. For Rachel, it feels like betrayal. Watching your best friend bond with the woman dating the man you secretly loathe is incredibly painful. Rachel knows Monica isn't trying to hurt her, but emotions don't always follow logic. Every shopping trip, every laugh they share, and every friendly conversation reminds Rachel that July is becoming a permanent part of their lives. Eventually, the truth comes out. Rachel discovers that Monica has been spending time with July behind her back, and the confrontation is both funny and emotional. Monica desperately tries to explain herself, insisting she never meant to hurt Rachel. But Rachel's frustration isn't really about shopping trips or lunches. It's about heartbreak. She's grieving a relationship that never even had a chance to begin. That's one of the reasons this storyline resonates with so many viewers. Rachel isn't jealous because July is a bad person. She's jealous because July is living the life Rachel wishes she had. Meanwhile, Ross is happier than ever. He believes everything is finally falling into place. After years of rejection and disappointment, he's found someone who understands his interests, shares his career, and genuinely cares about him. Ironically, this is exactly when everything starts to fall apart. One of the most memorable moments of the season happens almost by accident. While checking his answering machine, Ross hears an old voicemail Rachel left for someone else. In the message, she accidentally reveals that she's developed feelings for him. Suddenly, years of confusion disappear in an instant. Ross is completely stunned. For so long, he believed Rachel would never see him as anything more than a friend. Now he realizes that the woman he's loathed since high school actually returned those feelings. It's the answer he's waited years to hear, but it arrives at the worst possible time. Ross is already in a committed relationship with July. What follows is one of the strongest emotional conversations in the entire series. Ross confronts Rachel, wanting to understand if the message is real. Rachel, embarrassed and caught completely off guard, finally admits the truth. Yes, she loves him. She has for a while. But hearing Ross ask those questions after choosing someone else only makes everything hurt even more. Their conversation quickly turns into an argument. Rachel wonders why Ross never told her how he felt before leaving for China. Ross reminds her that he spent years trying to get close to her, but always believed she was interested in someone else. Neither one is completely right. Neither one is completely wrong. They were simply looking back at years of missed opportunities and wondering what could have been. This scene works so well because it's honest. Instead of dramatic speeches or unbelievable twists, it's built on realistic emotions: bad timing, misunderstandings, fear of rejection, and the frustration of realizing you waited just a little too long. Ross tries to convince himself that moving on with July is the right decision. After all, July has done nothing wrong. She's caring. She's supportive. She's intelligent. Breaking her heart wouldn't be fair. Rachel, meanwhile, decides she can't keep hoping forever. If Ross chooses July, she'll have no choice but to move on, no matter how difficult that may be. But Ross can't stop thinking about Rachel. Every conversation with July reminds him of the feelings he's tried to bury since high school. Suddenly, he begins questioning everything. Did he choose the right person? Or did he simply choose the person who arrived at the right time? Looking for clarity, Ross turns to Chandler and Joy. Together, they make a list comparing Rachel and July, hoping logic can solve an emotional problem. At first, the idea seems ridiculous, but Ross believes seeing everything written down might help him decide. The list includes both strengths and weaknesses for each woman. Some observations are thoughtful, others are completely ridiculous. It's one of the funniest sequences in the series because the guys treat love like a scientific experiment, as if a relationship can be decided with bullet points on a computer screen. Unfortunately, the list eventually falls into Rachel's hands. Reading words like spoiled, too concerned about her appearance, and just a waitress completely crushes her. She isn't simply angry. She's deeply hurt, especially because the opinions come from Ross, the man she's finally admitted she loves. The moment reminds viewers that words spoken during confusion or frustration can leave lasting scars. Even when Ross tries to explain that the list doesn't represent how he truly feels, Rachel struggles to believe him. The damage has already been done. As the episodes come to an end, their relationship seems farther apart than ever. Ross is torn between responsibility and love. Rachel feels embarrassed, rejected, and emotionally exhausted. Julie remains completely unaware that the foundation of her relationship is beginning to crack. Everything is building toward one unforgettable moment that fans still talk about decades later, a simple home video from the past that will reveal a truth no one expected and finally change Ross and Rachel's story forever.